I totally believe, just like you said, if one woman in a family is becoming a queen, the entire family becomes happier. With my own experience working with so many women, it's been a transformational journey, and every day there's so much of blessing, love happening in the family. And I'm on a mission to create 1 million happy families. That is my mission. So I have been in corporate world for about 20 years. I started working from the age of 17. My father met with an accident and my mom said, Rekha, you have to start working because we have to take care of the family. Being the eldest daughter, eldest daughter takes all the pressure from the mother. And if somebody is watching the eldest daughter, I can totally understand because you feel like a mother to the entire family. That's how I started my working journey. And I studied in Kannada medium, so English was really difficult. And after joining for work, I would look at people what they speak, and I would Google about it, learn from it, and that's how I learned English. And I started speaking in English at my work.
Welcome everyone to the Kinzugi Warriors of Life podcast. Today we have a very special guest. We have Rekha Babulkar. She is a powerful women empowerment coach in the energy space. She's an energy coach and she has helped so many women build on their high energy frequency and transform different areas of their life, making life a joyride, making it a success, becoming victorious. So, without wasting more time, I would like you, Rekha, to tell us a little bit about you and your mighty vision and what you're doing with these thousands of women, how you're shaping and transforming their lives. And I'm sure when a woman transforms, it's her entire family and the entire society transforming. So please tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, Delna. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity and thank you for the wonderful introduction. Hi, I'm Rekha Babulkar. I'm an energy coach. I work with women. I help women to heal and transform. I totally believe, just like you said, if one woman in a family is becoming a queen, the entire family becomes happier for the previous generation and for the next generation coming forward. With my own experience working with so many women, it's been a transformational journey, and every day there's so much of blessing, love happening in the family. It's just the woman we have to focus. Like the world is created, women is a creative energy, and we have to work on a creative energy, and the rest everything gets you're getting that light and power from the women. That's how it is going to work. And I'm on a mission to create 1 million happy families. That is my mission.
That is so beautiful. So, this is such a mighty vision, Rekha. Tell me a little bit about how what inspired you to get into energy coaching and, transform lives this way. What was that one moment where you decided, this is what I want to do?
Yeah, I have to tell you about my past if I have to talk about it.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I have been in corporate world for about 20 years. I started working from the age of 17. My father met with an accident and my mom said, Rekha, you have to start working because we have to take care of the family. Being the eldest daughter, eldest daughter takes all the pressure from the mother. And if somebody is watching the eldest daughter, I can totally understand because you feel like a mother to the entire family. That's how I started my working journey. And I studied in Kannada medium, so English was really difficult. And after joining for work, I would look at people what they speak, and I would Google about it, learn from it, and that's how I learned English. And I started speaking in English at my work. But I was so hungry for my growth. Then every year I had a promotion, every year, and somehow I was growing, and I would look for an opportunity. Like we have learned, whenever the opportunity would go, I would just grab it. That was my a habit. And at the age of 23, I got married. And as usual, in every family, after 6 months, I used to have fight with my mother-in-law. And it has become so frequent. And somehow we were not gelling together at all. And I would leave my house, go to my mother house, I'd come back again. I would leave my house, go to my mother house, and come back again. That was my pattern. And while I was working, after 10 years of all of this drama, I left my house and I started living separately. Then my husband came in and we bought a new house and we separated, and my mother-in-law was living alone. within 4 months, my mother-in-law started living with us because my husband is very a responsible person, and that's how he's brought up, and he always feel responsible for everyone. So he was not happy without his mother. So I said okay, but we were not talking much or anything like that.
Hmm.
That, and it went on for like 2 3 years, but we were not happy together. We were just living together as a family, and kids were growing up, and I felt happiness is so important because as a child I did not see that happiness in my own home, and I wanted my children to be happy, and we were focusing on work, study, study, study. It's like a monotonous life, and what you see in the movie, it is not happening in your life. And that's when I thought, okay, let me do business because I'm working so hard. So if I do a business, then I will get a lot of time for my children. Then I can sit at home and take care of my children. But whatever you see on the other side is greener. But
You know,
a business
it
is
requires more focus, I feel, as compared to a job because there is nothing like switching off.
absolutely. And I used to go to work at 7 o'clock, come back at midnight, 12 o'clock, because the shipment has to go. It's your own company, it's your money there, and you have to run it. 1 year, I was totally drained, and I had to shut my business.
Hmm.
And I went into depression because I'm not good enough. I'm not working. I'm not taking care of my family. I'm not a good wife. I'm not a good mother. Your own voice is very difficult to manage. You can actually manage the other voice. I always say there's two voices. The rest of the world is one voice and your own voice. And managing my own voice was very difficult. That's when I had a job opportunity. I started working again,
Hmm.
but this time I wanted to fix the problem. So I was going through YouTube, how to be a good mother, how to cook good food, how to plan your weekend, how to wake up early, how to organize yourself, how not to get angry. How to is my go-to in YouTube. And that's when I found my coach, and my coach said that, okay, are you looking to transform your life? Waking up in Brahma Muhurta can change everything in your life.
Hmm.
I enrolled for one Brahma Muhurta class, and from there, my transformation journey started. And here
Beautiful.
I am sitting in front of you, working with more than 2,000 women on one now.
Lovely, lovely. So tell us a little more about this Brahma Muhurat and what is it that what shifted within you when you did this and what inspired you from that Brahma Muhurat class? How did you get to Rekha channeling so many lives and changing so many aspects of life?
So, what is the beauty of Brahma Muhurta is the silence. And when you are in silence, you are actually listening to your voice. So, I used to wake up at 8 o'clock, rush, rush, rush. That used to be me, the working me. Now, after the coaching, my classes used to be at 5:30. So, first day was very difficult. But first day, my coach said, tomorrow you will do it, and you can do it. You can do it. And for me, it was all the first when I was hearing all the motivation. And I woke up at 4:30, got ready with my lipstick on, and I was in front of the camera with the camera on at 5:30. It was like first time in my life I'm trying to wake up at 5:30. And second day, she said, go to park, go out, see yourself, take a selfie, and tell yourself that you're out today and you're looking at the sunrise. I did all the homework. I was like, I'm a very good student, and I really enjoyed when all of this self love was happening. And I understood I never loved myself. I'm trying to prove it to the world, and I'm seeking validation from the world. But am I doing what I want to do? I love to take that sunlight. I want to be outside when it is raining, and I want to be myself. So this is what that Brahma Muhurta session taught me. Reading the book, this was one of my biggest desire. I want to read so much of books.
Mhm.
So this started in that Brahma Muhurta session. The silence, the visualization, the real happiness is in visualization. Our brain don't know what is reality and what we are visualizing. So when you visualize that happiness, what is happening in your body, this is what helps you for manifestation. And I started feeling more happier when I visualized, and I started exercising, and things started shifting. I started becoming happy from inside. The minute I started becoming happy from inside, suddenly I'm talking to my mother-in-law. Suddenly I'm talking to everybody very happily. At work, everybody is finding me like I'm singing a song and working. I'm doing the Excel murmuring. So it was the Brahma Muhurta which changed me, and I saw the world changed around me.
Wow, wow, that is quite a journey. Uh, So once you transformed your life, what are the kind of women, like, you said we are able to manifest so many things when we are visualizing. Uh, what do women come to you for? What kind of women, come for this transformational journey?
That's a wonderful question. So I get women from 20 to 30. That's the first segment.
Okay.
Those are the young girls who are just settling into career, but they have a lot of childhood trauma, just like I had. Your vibe attracts your tribe. I exactly attract my previous version when I was in that age, what I was going through, a lot of self-love issues. They're not, they are seeking validation. They are people pleasing. They have an anger management to do. They're not attracting the partner, and the partner is saying no, and they are like, they're not able to accept why. How can they say no? And this is
Acceptance
again
issues.
connected to my story. How did I accept a no in my life and everything? So this is one segment of women I work with. I help them to manifest their love and career and start being in high energy and loving themselves. And another segment of women who are married, who are exactly going through relationship issue with a husband, relationship issue with mother-in-law. And this is my major segment of the women we receive, who are like my current life, how the situations are going through. And I help them to heal the relationship with mother-in-law, heal the relationship with husband, and love themselves and how they can create a beautiful family. And the third segment is mothers who have just delivered the baby. They took a career break. Then after the career break, they don't feel confident to go to work, and they don't feel worthy of themselves because they've been working. They say, Rika, you should see my past self. I was like this, I was like that. That segment of the women, they beat themselves so much. So I work with them. I feel the confidence. One of my student, she joined us on 27th of that month, and on 10th of July, she received a job which she applied like 6 months ago. And she says, ma'am, if I wasn't in this program, maybe I wouldn't had the courage to attend the interview. Because I went through the healing, now I have the courage to attend the interview because I can believe my mother-in-law is going to take care of my child because I have also built a good relationship with my mother-in-law. So it's a balance of career, relationship, everything together is what I handle. So they get that entire transformation for themselves. And you don't believe, I do have some wonderful mother-in-laws in my community.
Oh, wow.
And also with my story, and they feel respected. They say, yes, we have issues, but we want to help our daughter-in-law. How can we do it? So I also work with the mother. And when you see the daughter-in-laws talking about the mother-in-law and the mother-in-laws are understanding, it is so beautiful. So I work from 20 to 60 years women who are going through multiple issues. So that's the range we have seen.
Lovely. So you were mentioning that these women, about specifically this woman who found that balance with her in-laws and found that confidence. So, what are the issues or challenges these women who are bouncing back from work? Because there is quite a population now. There's a lot of women who are, going on a career break and wanting to come back. What are
Yeah.
the energy shifts that are required? Where are they when they meet you? And where are they after the program? What happens? What do you do? How do you work with them?
Yeah. So before the program, obviously they're not taking care of themselves. The physical health is completely gone. They have forgotten their complete grooming, and there is no self-love. They're seeking validation from husband. They want the husband to say it's okay if you're not working, but the husband would have told once. But they're like, but Rika, but today I'm not feeling good. I want it to be said. And women, the mood of a woman is it just changes like this. The emotion changes like this, and the more they suppress, even they're suppressing, it is changing below like this. It is changing because that's the way we have created. That's the way we are as a woman, right? We are happy. Suddenly you can see us crying. Suddenly you can see us. I used to call my friend and say, my mother-in-law did this, my mother-in-law did that. And I would go on and on. And evening I would tell her, can we go out for dinner today? So that's how women is, and women is having so much of things. So she wants a good window to take care of her emotional health. So when they come, they don't have good friends. They don't have good window to express what they are going through. So this is what is they are going to understand, and they get the community support. They also get an accountability partner. They get to talk to a woman about their issues. So they started feeling good. So from low self worth, they increase the health worth. So with or without the job, you are worthy of love. That's the first step we start with. And the second step, there are people around you to take care of your children. Not only you are responsible. So the belongingness is what we create, and we help them to detach from their attachments. Basically, I would not call it as responsibilities, but basically they're attached to that responsibility. But they can also share the responsibility with the in-laws, with the husband, and all of that. But Rekha, if I leave my child to my husband, he will just put the YouTube, then he will not take care. But let him do his own style of parenting, right? Why are we saying one style of parenting is okay? Let the father do his style of parenting. So the woman is like, oh yes, मैं ये भी कर सकती हूँ. Then they leave the child to the father, to the mother-in-law, and they start feeling better. So they have to detach from their responsibilities. And third, they need to have a window. It is very, very important. They need to have a window of friends or community where they can express and share themselves and reconcile their thought so they can change that and bounce back. And I would say every woman, every person in this world has to work. Without working, the statement idle mind is a devil's place is absolutely true. They have to work. Let it be creative, let it be commercial work, let it be anything. But there should be something a person should
Some
wake up to
purpose, some
doing
mission, some
something. Yes.
hobby, some passion.
Yes.
That
Wake
should
up to doing something. That's it. So
Right.
then you're healthy. My mother-in-law is 75 and she is like, she wakes up, she has her own routine, she takes care of herself, she's completely independent. She doesn't even look like 75 because she's so obsessed with her routine. So it is important that we all have to do some work. So this is what I motivate to my women in the community.
Wow, wonderful. So, Rekha, we spoke about these working women who are now juggling their careers and family and stuff. What about these youngsters who are looking to find that right life partner, moving from relationship to relationship, not happy, not satisfied? What do you do with them? Because that's a different age group as well.
Absolutely.
A lot more happening in their mind.
Thank you for this question, Delna. And I think our next generation needs this answer for themselves. When we don't have good relationship with our parents, we don't have good relationship with the next set of families or anybody. It is so important that you heal your relationship with your parents. That's a core. And if somebody is trying to manifest a partner, if you don't have a good relationship with your father, who's the first man in your life, you will not have good relationship with your brother, you will not have good relationship with your spouse. I have seen it as a pattern.
True.
Okay, because the masculine energy they're not aligning with. Somehow they don't like the masculine energy subconsciously because they don't like the father, they don't like the other man in the life. Somehow, or either they are people pleasing because maybe the father was very strict. So these women, for the spouse also, they people please. The boyfriend also, they are very pleasing. Late ho gaya, chalta hai. I'm not available, chalta hai. They are adjusting with everything. They're not setting the boundaries.
Because
Or-
there's a lot of patterns set
yes.
with the male authority or the male energy.
Male is being authority in their life.
This is how I'm treated by the male gender or the male energy, or this is how I will react or
Yeah.
respond to the male
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah. And we say if you are someone who is attracted to authority, you will attract people dominating you always. It is your energy which attracts the opposite energy. So, and many girls who we receive in the community who are trying to manifest, they're saying, Madam, kuch bhi karo or unblock kar do. I say, please, this is not a place. We are not going to have a quick fix. It's not possible like that. We should stop chasing for people for love. We should be attracting into our life. I say to the girls, you are a creator. You can attract love into your life. You don't have to chase. They're so beautiful. Not only the outer beautiful, from inside, they're so innocent, they're so capable, and they're chasing for the love because that has become a pattern. One, they also learn from the mother that that's the way they have to be. Also.
That is
So I work on the pattern. I work on the pattern. I work on the forgiveness model first. And I teach them to put always themselves on the top. Don't think that only if you have a boyfriend then you are good and your boyfriend is big and you are small. Don't think the man is not thinking like that. Actually, we are thinking like that. Somehow we are nurtured in the environment like that. That is what I have observed, because this is what is stored as a pattern. So start treating yourself like equal. I tell every woman, treat yourself like a goddess. The man is bowing to the goddess. Treat yourself like a goddess. You are a goddess. And next week I have a special Navratri session, and I'm going to treat the 9 type of goddesses we have in the community. And we all are goddesses. The world is created by women. We should never underestimate us. So this is what I put this into the young women. So then they are loving themselves. And the minute they start loving, they're like, okay, I've been attracted, and that guy is attracted, and things are happening, the marriage is happening, the love is happening. The husband who was doubting some time before, suddenly he's all respected, he's all taking care, they are going for candlelight dinner. So many miracles are happening. When you love yourself, the entire world loves you. And if you don't love yourself, they don't know what to give it to you, and you don't know what to receive it. So this is what I do with that.
Beautifully said. Yes. I think as you rightly said, the way the mother treats the father is a major because mother is the role model.
Yeah.
And I see a lot of and I see a lot of women going into parent bashing and to say that, acha, you know, ye mera cycle ho gaya tha. My mom did this to me. My father did this to me. My mom, this is what I learned from my mother. But as a psychologist, when they come to me, the first couple of sessions you can talk about it and express, but there comes a time where you have to learn to uh, sort of, or not learn, rather decide that this is the moment and I'm going to cut this pattern because I do have the power and I do have a choice. Doesn't matter how the mother treated the father,
Yes.
or it doesn't matter how your father treated you, even because now in this moment you get to choose what
Mm.
you want to be, where you want to be, how you want to be treated, how you'll treat yourself, how you'll treat other women around you. I see women also not treating other women well. So if you don't treat other women well, and you give priority to another gender, then that talks volumes about your own internal belief and energy.
Yeah. And they have the power. This is what I say, that we have the power. And when we take 100% responsibility for our life, the power comes back. So I use this technique from Ho'oponopono, which is a Hawaiian technique, where people think it's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you, which is, yes, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. That's Ho'oponopono. But Ho'oponopono starts from, I take 100% responsibility. How many of them are able to say it from their core, that they take 100% responsibility?
Yeah.
So many times we need to do, I have to do coaching session of only I'm 100% responsibility. But the question would be from the beautiful girls are like, how am I responsible if my parents have not treated me well? How am I responsible if my husband is not treating me well? But you're not responsible for what has happened, my dear. You are not responsible. Whatever has happened, it is not fair. I totally understand. You are not responsible for it. But today, how are you treating yourself? You are 100% responsible. You can choose to. That's a word, like rightly you said. You can choose to feel the way you want to feel.
Absolutely.
That's a first step for healing. That you take responsibility. Today, I choose to start feeling happier. I take responsibility for my emotions. That's when the foundation starts. So I take a lot of time to set the foundation. Then we work on what is required to bring in.
Wonderful. So this is about attracting the life partner. Now, once you have the right life partner, once you're married, what challenges do women come with regards to their relationship with their husband? Because I know that once women go through that curve, uh, the first couple of years are also fine, but then there comes a time in every relationship where there are those I won't say weak moments, there are weak phases. There are phases where things go a little haywire. And of course, it's not happening overnight. It has happened because of layers and layers and layers of patterns and sometimes even transitions that happen during life in the marriage. We also grow as couples.
Yeah.
So, what are the problems? What are the typical areas where women face challenges and how do you work with them?
See, communication is a first problem what women face.
Hmm.
And when we take about communication, as women, we have asked to change. Adjust करना पड़ता है शादी के बाद. So you have to change. So there is a change mindset started in the head, and you're trying to be a different person after marriage.
Hmm.
My first take is just be the way you are. Just be the way you are. Let the world adjust. Because they know from the day one you are like that. And things will start falling into the place. That's number one. Number two, in relationship, there is no right or wrong. That's my principle I have applied for last 5 years. I've been married for 19 years. For 15 years, I had my own problems with the marriage. So I understand that it takes time to settle down. So give time to settle down. You don't have to make decisions. People are hurry in making the decision. मुझे decide कर लेना है, क्या करना है. You don't have to make decisions sometime. Just be as you are and let the water settle. Just like if you take a glass of water and mud is mixed in that, people try to boil the water to remove the mud. Okay, let me boil it. Let me talk to them. Let me talk to this person. Let me make a noise. Let me fight against it. And when you boil the water to filter it through your tea filter, the water and mud is not getting separate. Your anger and your love is not getting separate. Maybe you need to just be in silence. Just be in silence for 1 day, 2 days. Let the water settle down. This is the mantra. And don't try to blame the other person that that person is wrong. This is applicable for both men and women. We don't have to justify that the other person is wrong, but you can prove it to yourself that, okay, let me calm down. Let me feel better with myself. Eat good food. If you have a family problem, just go treat yourself, eat good food. So you're increasing some happy hormones with you, and always talk for yourself. That's a step. Third step. I feel when you are not doing this to me. I feel when you are not listening to me. I feel irritated. 2 times I called your name. You didn't hear my name. I feel irritated. Not you're not listening. That is irritating me. No, I feel irritated. I have a problem repeating the same thing. So can you listen to me when I talk to you? So this is something what I applied. I stress myself that I feel. And when I say it is only my feeling. I'm not saying you are doing wrong. Then the person will not take it personally. Then the person will start caring for you. Okay, usko bura lagta hai. Let me change this. Let me talk in a different way. And things will start working for you. Both the partner require time to adjust. For sure, there is a time to adjust. And just stay in love. Love is the highest form. And for a reason, you are a husband and wife. I totally believe in the bond of marriage because, as our ancestors said, marriages are made in heaven. I feel it is true. It is absolutely true. That's how, from where to where we get the partner, right? My husband rejected my proposal when I proposed him. And I thought, okay, he's not going to accept my proposal. My mom was looking for a guy and I was supposed to marry that guy. And just before my engagement supposed to happen, my husband said, Rix, I really love you. Can we talk about it? Then I said, okay, 2.5 years I was waiting for you. Let me hear it from you. Then we got married and my mom did not agree for my marriage for 3 months. I'm talking about 2005. The caste system was so strong.
Right.
The parents would not agree at that time. And it was so difficult. And in spite of all the challenges, we are married for 19 years now. And I see that I don't give credit to all of that which happened to myself because my husband has been very patient.
Mhm.
He don't make those quick decisions because giving up on a marriage is very easy. But holding on to it is going to take some time. It's going to take some challenge, but it is workable. It's workable. And if any point of time, if you have loved that person, the love is definitely there.
Absolutely.
You need to give a chance to it.
Absolutely. Yes. I think, I just say you need to just remove or release the layer of dust that is settled upon it and
Absolutely.
people will come back to their own freshness.
You can connect to a couple counselor, the coaching, healing. The world is so much advanced than now. When we were newly married, I don't think so anything existed like that. And now there is so much of facility available. I recently did a counseling for a young couple. They were only married for 6 months. And the wife was telling me that my husband is not interested in intimacy. So I had to do counseling to understand what is the husband's story. And husband was saying, see, वो पूरा दिन झगड़ा करती है and शाम को मुझे मूड ही नहीं आता है. What should I do? For me, it has to flow in my mood. I have to be happy for it. Then for women, it is very easy to change the mood. For man, it is not happening like that. Then she heard whatever the husband said, and she already calmed down. The couple counseling, we do it together, but as a mediator, I hold the one person not to talk, and this person talks only. I feel. And he said, see, she doesn't eat because she wants to lose weight. Ek hi roti khati hai, and I feel bad about it. If I tell her she's fighting with me, then I feel low. So there was a lot of things husband wanted to tell her, which he told her, but it turned out to be different. But when I was in between, things changed. Just one session, Delna, they have a beautiful relationship. They even
Sometimes
spoke
it
what
just
can be ended, and suddenly everything is into romantic world now.
Yeah, I think it sometimes just takes that right approach, maybe the right way to put the point across, and a lot of issues because fundamentally, you know, even in a marriage, it's both people want it to work. Most, I mean, in most
Mhm.
cases, you both want, like, nobody wants their marriage to fail.
Yes.
Nobody wants to unnecessarily, create, unless it's a very toxic situation. That's a completely different story. But when I also meet couples, I see that actually both of them really want to make it work. But
Mm.
it's just that somehow you're so consumed, and there are so many layers of patterns and beliefs, and uh, sometimes a lot of external uh, intrusion,
Yes.
which
Yes.
is not a very healthy
And
thing.
Instagram, basically Instagram. You know, all the girls
Instagram
who come
and
to me, they say, मैंने अभी अभी एक रील देखा है टॉक्सिक रिलेशनशिप नार्सिस्ट हस्बैंड कहाँ से आ रहा है ये डायलॉग आई मीन व्हाई आर वी टेकिंग ऑल ऑफ दिस डायलॉग्स दिस वाज नॉट देयर बिफोर maybe there are people who exist like that. I do agree that there is thing,
Mhm.
but when a common person sees it, they think that okay, people are like that, and that influences, and people use these hard words. So I say, please remove it from your vocabulary. Maybe there is an anger and misunderstanding and all that to be sorted out. The words we use in our relationship is very, very important. When we use toxic, narcissist, all of that, no, you have labeled your relationship like that, then it is difficult to heal it and bring you back. You can't imagine the same person narcissist to a good person, right? So we should not label the relationship in our life. So this is something also everybody should understand, not to label their loved ones. The problem what you're going through is a temporary problem. Eventually you will be together. Eventually it will be solved. Whatever is the result, consequences could be.
absolutely agree to that. Yes. And this brings me to the question of mother-in-law. Now, we've covered the finding the life partner, and then settling in with the life partner. What do you think? What are the issues women have with not just the mother-in-law, the in-laws, and settling into the family, into a new environment or culture?
See, number one, you can't change your in-laws. You
True.
can't, right? Your husband is born to his parents, and they are going to be there with you. They are part of your family. Somehow, from ancient period, the in-laws are always having this daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, and all of this is a different thing. I think through a DNA, that feeling of misunderstanding is come. That's what I feel. It's not even the real life feeling. So, the number one, accept your in-laws as they are. Number one, accept them, because your husband is brought up by your in-laws, and if your husband loves you so much, all the qualities come through your in-laws. So be grateful there to them and accept it. So this made my life easier. So I'm not saying the woman is a problem, because you're coming from outside, you're not able to accept. So step number one, accept it. I'm not saying just go love them blindly and all of that, which might be very artificial, but accept the fact that I belong to this family, and this is how it is going to be.
This is
This
what
is
it
what
is.
is the
This is
society.
what I
This
have.
is
This
what
is my
it is. Yeah.
complete.
No, number one. Number two, always have your boundaries with your in-laws. like, okay, this is how you have to do, or this is how they have to do. Have a clear communication. So don't let the conflict come in. Like, have the rules. For example, the kitchen, for example, have the clear rules. Okay, kitchen में मेरा ये काम है, आपका ये काम है, and this is how we are going to finish it. Or if your mother-in-law is telling you, say that, okay, I can't do this because I'm working, I need house help here. Fix it in the beginning only when you're getting married. Or if you're already married, things are worse. Maybe do a small meeting. Dilna, you don't believe. After 14 years of my marriage, when I understood this in a coaching session, my mother was living separately and it was a heavy raining day. I drove my car, directly came to the house. This is the house I left and went. And I knocked at the door and she said, "Who is it? Who is it?" Because it's heavily raining and she was living all alone. I said, "Mommy, I'm Areka here." She got scared. Okay, are you here to fight again? Then I came in and I just sat. I said, "No, Ashwin said that you're not well, and I just wanted to talk to you. How are you doing now?" And all of that. And see, nobody wants to fight at the end of the day, and they also don't know how to handle it, and you also don't know how to handle it. Nobody's fault it is, not us and not them. But somewhere we have to make it work. So I said, "Mommy, can we make a deal that from today we are going to do our relationship like this? And I'm sorry if I've hurt you in the past. Maybe knowingly or unknowingly, I would have done it, and I don't want to talk about it. And I will not talk about what you have done, and I don't want you to talk about what I have done. So from today, can we have a deal? If we both have a problem, we both will talk and we will sort it out. So we will not have this problem." So that's a deal I made with her. It was about 45 minutes of discussion. She didn't believe in the first. She said, "See, right now we are separated. It's better that we stay separate and all of that, because again, if I come back again, if you leave, it would be a problem." I said, "See, you are the eldest of the family, and I want my children to experience the grandma and her stories and all of that. My father-in-law is not there and my father is not there, and this is what I want my children to have: good company and respect and all of that." Then I also have my own intention, right? I want my children to be grown and know that his parents are also good parents. They are taking care of the parents and doing good to the world. So that sorted out, and we joined together, and it's been 5 years. We have zero fight till now. Zero fight. We live
Wow.
together. So
Wow.
it's not that we have changed as a person. I might have some bitterness inside of my head, but we have a deal. We will not fight. Okay, so I don't tell my husband anything what I feel. I write journal. If I'm feeling irritated, frustrated, I journal. I do a burning bowl because the energy is staying with you. If you are irritated, frustrated about your mother-in-law, do the journaling, do the burning bowl, and finish it off, because you might get irritated and frustrated. I'm not saying you will not get it. You will get it. So do it. But make a deal how you're going to live as a family, and make that as a house rule. Code of honor is very, very important. I don't set the code of honor only for my students. We also have house rules, and we say in our family we don't talk these words, we don't behave like this. So it is so important to have that codes in your house, that what is your family code.
The family.
So we don't sleep fighting, not talking to each other. We don't raise volume, all of that. That is all the house rules what we follow. My husband immediately say, "No, no, this is not our house rules. We are not going to talk like this." So it's very important as a family you set it right. And this will help you to balance with your in-laws also. But it will take some time. If you're newly married, you may not get the control of your house, because your mother-in-law has been handling it for 30, 40 years. So let her handle. You take relax, you have fun with your initial marriage days. But I was trying to take the control of it, and I think I did a mistake with all of that learning. But it's okay, it's an experience. So if you're newly married, just relax, do what they say, and enjoy your life. And if you're a little bit old married and you have more responsibilities, set the house rules and start functioning as a house rule. Because as an entire family, everybody wants to make the family work at the end of the day.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I feel. Even the in-laws, it's just that sometimes, the way we don't know how to communicate, even they don't know how to communicate.
Yes.
So, if we can have, turmoil in our relationship with our spouse, and that is something we know that this is my marriage, I want to make it work, and you're doing everything possible to make it work.
Yeah.
The same thing when it happens with the in-laws, the perspective is different, because there we are not taking that the ownership of belonging. I feel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you do that, and when each person in the family says that I want to make it work because they are important to me,
Yeah.
Not because they're important to your spouse, but because they're important to you, because that person has now entered even your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they are.
Even as a woman, you can't do everything also because it might be very heavy on her. Like if you take the woman and if the mother-in-law is not ready to adjust at all, then you have to set the boundary and say where you are going to buy the piece.
Right.
Maybe try to choose to live differently and come back on a
Yes.
weekend and have all of that. Set your boundaries to live separately. I'm not saying that you have to adjust and go because you have to live your life now. Now is the life, right? If two people are not adjusting at all, maybe sit calmly rather fighting and going away. Sit calmly and talk. See, we both are not able to adjust, and this is the reason. Let's do this. Make an adjustment, and maybe one floor, another kitchen, whatever the old system was
Whatever
working.
works
That
for you as a family, but coming from a space of making it work. So making it work doesn't mean living together under a roof. Making it work means finding that comfortable balance
what suits for it is.
between the different members of the family, so that everybody's needs are taken care of, and then you're not sort of stepping onto each other's toes unnecessarily.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Lovely. Uh, so Rekha, that brings me to our next question. When you work with women, what are your what are the milestones they will go through? How is the journey when it comes to, so suppose I join you and
Mhm.
a woman comes with her challenges. What is the process you will take them through, and where do they start, and what is that ultimate outcome vision for them? Where do they reach after completing your entire program?
Okay. So my program, I call it as Manifest Your Life with Healing.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe you can't manifest anything if you're not healed.
Absolutely.
It's just like Diwali. You need to
Mhm.
clean your house before you do the puja. You will not do the puja, then clean the house. So you will declutter kahan window hai. You will go every corner and you will clean because Mahalakshmi will come when the place is clear. Just like
Absolutely.
that, the happiness, the manifestation, the growth, the success, everything can come to you when we are detailedly decluttering. So first level, I take the women through my free webinar. So people can come to my free webinar. I also give a free energy healing experience for them. So
Hmm.
somebody who's going through a tough situation, they can attend that session and see how they can experience after the energy healing. And after that, I offer them my silver membership. Where in silver membership, I work on healing their relationship, career, health, and money blocks. So we have a challenge also when we do a 30 days challenge. So because as I said, women emotion changes like this, it is important that we work on the emotion every day. Otherwise they get lost. So we have our own mobile app called Soulful Academy. We have our application. So with this, most of my community women, they don't watch Instagram. They are always in the application. They are posting, आज सुबह ये किया, affirmation किया, or I did the healing, I did a forgiveness letter, I took care of myself. Some days we have chakra themed colors to wear. So we have a lot of activities for every day for women. So say sorry to 3 people, call 3 people today and talk to them. And what was the best? So every day there is an activity to do and they feel like a fresh person every day. So this is the power of community. So every month we run this challenge from new moon to new moon.
All right.
New moon, because new moon is when the new beginnings are happening and there is a powerful energy from new moon. So we use this energy, we call it as Moonathon challenge. So we
Wow.
do new moon to new moon. I bought a new house using new moon technique. So I teach them all this spiritual and scientific techniques to help them manifest their desire. Then we start from there and they go through the healing process. Every month, the second week of the Saturday, we work on their chakras. And I also teach them how to do all their aura cleansing, home cleansing, and everything. So they are able to do it to their family people also. So this is our first level. Second level, we work on law of attraction. Now you are healed. Now आपका घर भी clean हो गया, आपका aura भी clean हो गया, and how you can start receiving what you want to receive. So that is where the law of attraction we use, and we teach Reiki at this stage. We make them Reiki channel, so they can channelize themselves every day and be in high energy, be in peace, and all of that. Ultimately, why you have taken birth to live life peacefully, right? So this is a stage they come to now. So these are sessions what they go through themselves, and these are all there in the app. They can go through themselves and set it right. And our next level is transformation. This is where we work on future self. So this is where I work with high achieving women who wants to achieve lot of dreams and they are coming with that power. मुझे ये करना है, वो करना है, कैसे करना है, बोलो I need that high energy. So this is where I help them to increase their energy. We do their personality test, work on their values, work on their zapper list, people who are draining their energy, adding energy, a lot of things they require to transform them into a new level. So I told you about the woman who got the job in 10 days. She was in this level. Suddenly, from healing, 3 days of healing, she moved to the future. She said, okay, I'm feeling better now. I want to work from my future. So we work from future. We also do the healing. So then you come into the present. So that's how we do our membership. And there's a community. We have about 1,200 people who are into healing. We have about 150 diamond members as of today while I'm talking to you. So where people are working on their future, we have people who are doctors, engineers, who have done PhD. They want growth. They have done their education, but they want high energy. They want that high communication. They want self-worth, self-confidence, all of that. Basically, personality development. This is where I come in and I bring that goddess energy and work with them.
Wow. All right. So that is your ultimate
Transformation. I also help them to become a coach and healer. That's another level. We select people. We don't call for everyone at this stage. We select people who are in this transformation level. We choose them to become a coach and healer, just like us. Because the mission is 1 million people. I'm alone. It is too big mission. So I need an army of queens to do it along with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Love that. So with that, I would like to, thank Rekha for being here with us and sharing so many valuable insights on relationships, on patterns, on the mother-father energy connect. And I would like to urge all of you who are listening to the podcast, if there are any challenges, any roadblocks you're going through, you're facing, and you feel you could use her, some support, some expertise, some guidance. I'm going to be sharing Rekha's details, all her contact details, her handles, and please feel free to ask your questions in the comments or directly reach out to Rekha. Whenever you feel, just know that help is always available. It's just a click away. With that, Rekha, we are going to move to the last part of the podcast, which is a little bit of fun, which is our rapid fire round.
I'm excited.
And, yes, I'm a little excited. I love to know about what is not, about the hidden secrets. So, since we are all into the energy space, it's going to be little energy centric rapid fire. So, what's your go-to grounding ritual?
I keep my palm like this and visualize the lights are going from here. And from my tip of the tailbone, I see a red light going to the Mother Earth. And from my feet, I see the roots are going. And I just sit wherever I am. I feel ungrounded. I do this as a grounding activity. And weekly once going to temple helps me to ground myself.
Wow. All right. Crystals, essential oils, or singing bowls? Which one?
Crystals.
Awesome. Most powerful healing mantra?
I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
Awesome. Any book that you feel is the most inspiring, a book that changed your life?
The Big Leap.
The Big Leap. Wow. All right. Your favorite element: earth, water, fire, ether, air?
Water.
All right. Describe healing in one word.
Acceptance.
Accepted. Lovely. Your dream place on earth for a healing retreat?
Somewhere there's mountains and river.
Mountains with riverside. Awesome.
Yeah. And maybe Rishikesh or something like that. Some of the pictures what I've seen.
Okay. All right. And lastly, which chakra do you feel most connected to right now?
I feel connected to sacral chakra.
Awesome.
For this channel, yes.
Beautiful. So that brings us to the end of our rapid fire. Once again, I'm going to urge all the viewers, If you haven't subscribed this channel yet, please hit the like and subscribe button if you love this podcast. And Rekha's details are mentioned in the description below. So if at all you are in any part, in any phase of your life as a woman, whether it's attracting a life partner with your or relationship with your husband or in-laws or children even, please feel free to reach out to Rekha. And with that, thank you everyone. Thank you Rekha for such a wonderful.
Thank you, Delna, for your wonderful opportunity. Thank you so much for allowing me to share myself. Thank you.